Music?
Hello.
Right, you're on.
My name is Sharon, and I had the surgery. Oh, I have to show my picture. Seth, can you pass that picture on? I had my surgery. No, Seth, a piece of paper. There you go. 3 years ago, this July. Give it to Dr. Rutledge again. I was 291. Now, well, pregnancy, I'm up a little bit, but I'm about 150. I always say, besides my husband, he's my favorite man in the world. He saved my life. So I don't cry too often. My hormones were crazy before, like many of you know, up and down, and my poor husband. And now I'm, only when I see him and do this, pay it forward, I get a little emotional. And Seth feels bad when I cry. The one thing, Seth was 5, but when I came back to see Dr. Rutledge, because everything just got better, I was depressed and I'd eat more and the hormones, and I eat it. There's no question. I'd crave that, all the food, and I said to Seth, is there anything you want to tell Dr. Rutledge? And he said, thank you for making mommy happy again. And that's what I always pass on, because so it wasn't just for the cosmetic. It was, and I was pretty healthy. I'm pretty much waiting for diabetes and things to set in, but healthy as far as nothing at that point that I knew. But I couldn't move, and I was depressed, and the hormones. And a couple days after, I felt horrible coming down the stairs. A couple days after, I had the pressure relieved in my legs, and I didn't it's incredible. So I wrote down a couple of things I thought would pertain to what I went through, but for you guys to help. And the ghrelin is a big thing, and that's how I explain to people. I remember before I would eat you to get to that cake behind you. I would be crazy, and now I can say, "Oh, excuse me, please, can I have a little piece of that?" It's a normal feeling.
You said that you would eat you to.
I would kid around with someone and say, "That's how I felt before." Like, it is so serious. Don't stand in my way of. Yeah, it was like, and then there was the hormones too, so it was like crazy. Now I can actually
you
say.
You get my way.
Right. It did feel like an
It was
animal.
a deep-seated, serious, almost out of control need.
A vicious cycle.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. And then I remember people, because I hung out at these meetings, and the videos, and it was comical too. It was like a Las Vegas show. I'd come back. I'm local, but because I wanted to poke holes in this surgery, how could it be? My father-in-law's a physician, and come tell me this doesnn seem right. Finding on the internet, and we're seeing these videos, but there was truth there, and people would say, I said, oh gosh, he's gonna make my stomach this much smaller, so I must have gained 20 pounds before surgery because I was eating everything. You can't tell me at 291 you're gonna make my stomach 90% smaller, and and I'll be able to eat everything. And people would say that to me, and I really, a month after meat and sushi, I eat everything, but I also crave salads. It's amazing. If I had to eat, the vegetables and grilled chicken before, I'd hit my head again, to keep doing it. So it does change, and my husband couldn't believe, well, how can you fix down here, and how does it change here, and that connection? So we had some long conversations, but that was the hormones that really afterwards became normal, the cravings. But the vitamins, I know Dr. Rutledge will talk about too, you'll feel great. So people will stop taking the vitamins and stop taking the Tums, and that was something religiously. I think I was taking about 20 pills before. Now being pregnant, I just, the prenatal, I do the Tums, but just to listen to them, because you just don't want to have problems. I know people have had different, ulcer without the yogurt, and so he does, obviously he knows, and he really is a phone call away. Many people, I think, don't have to call. I don't call that often, but to be able to call and ask questions, he comes through, and very comical too. The lactate is something that about a year out, all of a sudden I needed, milk was bothering me. So I started taking the lactate pills. Now I don't take them. I took them about for 2 years and it just sort of stopped. Is that
The body adapts, and what happens is initially the bypass interferes with lactose, milk sugar digestion. As time passes though, the gut gets thicker. The lining of the gut with the little villi that are like a shag carpet grow. And so your digestive abilities improve. So our data on people over 10 years shows they gain a little bit of weight back as the gut adapts over time.
I see. And that's it. Life is normal. I had infertility before. We tried treatments and nothing worked. And now it's been 3 years, but we got our little blessing 4 months ago to be pregnant. So I used to kid around that that's what we were gonna name. He said, "Please don't do that to a little one." But and that's it. Actually, all the blood work, everything's been great. Now I'm a little low in iron. I don't know if that's
Good, we'll talk about that.
Okay.
Good.